Good morning, guys, girls. Rob with you here. And NFL Week 1. Week 1 starts today. And, some big games on tap. Obviously, Sunday night game. Tampa Bay at Dallas. Also got Kansas City going to Arizona to play the Cardinals. There's some big games this week. It really are. But there's some games that I think or underlying games. We'll get to those in just a few minutes. First off, let's go to yesterday's college football. And let's go to the scoreboard and let you know exactly what happened yesterday. Ohio State 45, Arkansas State 12. Arkansas State covered. What's up, Phillip? Alabama 20, Texas 19. Texas had a chance to win that ball game. Texas covered. Arkansas 44, South Carolina 30. Arkansas covers and wins. That is a team that's going to move up in the polls. Miami 30, Southern Miss 7. Southern Miss covered on that game. It doesn't matter. Miami is going to be another team that's going to vault up into the polls. Marshall 26, Notre Dame 21. Look, you lose 2 ball games, you can stay in the top 25. You lose a ball game to Marshall, you do not stay in the top 25. This is a team that has to get put back in their place. Notre Dame needs to be outside the top 25. Appalachian State 17, Texas A&M 14 in Texas. A&M was a 14-point favorite here. Marshall, they pretty much dominated the fourth quarter. A&M, they have to really fall down as well. Tennessee in overtime beats Pittsburgh 34-27. A real good ball game. If you didn't get to see it, go back and watch it this week. This is a real good ball game to watch. Michigan State 52, Akron 0. Michigan State did exactly as advertised, and they should have won that game, and they did. Washington State 17, Wisconsin 14. Washington State pulls the upset. They come to the Midwest and win. Now Washington State kind of bumps up themselves a little bit. Wisconsin has to move down. Oklahoma, after a lousy first half, 7-3 leading at the half, they come out and score 26 in the second half, 33-3. Oklahoma rocks over Kent State. We have Kentucky 26, Florida 16. Florida, a little bit overrated. I'm sorry. I know Matt Sharver likes to watch the channel. Florida, not as good as advertised. They're going to maybe win 6-7 ball games. This is not a 10-win team, 9-win team. This is not that good a team. Kentucky, a lot better defense than I figured. We knew their offense was going to be pretty stout. Their defense is not bad as well. Oklahoma State 34, Arizona State 17. Oklahoma State covers, and they go under the total here. USC, after a really good first half, they may have played the best first half of any team yesterday. USC, what's up, Tim? They beat Stanford 41-28. I'm telling you, this is a tough football team. USC, I'm not sure they don't have the best quarterback in the country right now. You can look at Ohio State. You can look at Alabama. But you got to look at the USC quarterback. The kid can throw 50 yards downfield on a line. This kid is going to be a star, I really think. Right now, he's getting overshadowed by all the kids on the East Coast. Watch out for the kid from USC. BYU, favored by 3.5. None of us liked them against Baylor. They win 26-20 on and under, gets covered. Now our picks, our bid picks, Southern Utah at Utah, we picked a 71.5 over under, and it was 80. How about that? Travis went 54 points, and they won by 66 points. That's pretty close. That's not bad. Georgia beat Sanford 33-0. We overpicked that one. We really thought Georgia was going to score more points than they did. They didn't. This next one's really interesting. Michigan 56, Hawaii 10. They win by 46. Travis said he thought it would be a 53-point win, which was really, really right there in the area. And the over-under 67, over-under ended up being 66. All the other jabronis wins, Travis loses on that one. And then this next one, Oregon 70, Eastern Washington 14. Oregon wins by 56. I bid 60, which is not terrible. And then the over-under, Travis got 78, and it was 84. So, yeah, not very bad there at all. We were close on some of our odds picks this week. Scott Frost. Before we go any further, Scott Frost has got to get fired. Scott Frost needs to be fired today. Let me tell you why he needs to get fired now. You do not wait. You got Oklahoma coming next Saturday. Okay? Oklahoma's coming into Nebraska next week. Scott Frost is he's not your future. You already know that. You don't hire another coach right now. You pay him his $15 million and get him the hell out of Dodge. Okay? This is why I say you pay him $15 million and you get him out. Otherwise, you have to wait till October 1st. Not only do they play Oklahoma at home next week, on October 1st, they are hosting Indiana. After that, they only have 2 more home games the rest of the year. 2 or 3. They may have 3. I think it's 2 more, though. Home games the rest of the season after October 1st. You need to try to at least balance this team out a little bit. They're 1-2 right now. The win was not over an impressed team. In this loss yesterday, Georgia Southern, you can't lose that game. I don't care if you win by 5. You can't lose that game. He's got to get fired. I don't care if it's $15 million. You got to pay him off and get him out of Dodge. You got to. You know, his next job is going to be a high school coach. Okay? He's not going to get any level coaching anywhere. You know, Furman, VMI, East Carolina, none of these places would hire Scott Frost right now. None of them would. And you've got him as your head coach in Nebraska. He's got to go. $15 million or no $15 million. After October 1st, it goes to $7.5 million. And a lot of people are saying Trev Alberts is waiting till the Sunday after the Indiana game. Why? You got contributors right now threatening to boycott the school. You've got season ticket holders that have been season ticket holders 30 plus years threatening to boycott the school. They want him out. I think he's going to get fired. I say by Tuesday, they have themselves a new coach. They should today, because you're playing Oklahoma next week. I think you're going to keep an interim coach, whether it's a defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator, quarterbacks coach, whoever. I don't care who. You got to have an interim coach the rest of this season to at least keep goodwill and faith with the alumni. You got to. You have got to get rid of Scott Frost. There's no ifs, ands, and buts to it, folks. $7.5 million, you got to bite that salary. Trev Alberts, if you don't, it could be your job. We already know Scott Frost is leaving. But if you hold on to Scott Frost too long, they may end up pushing the AD out, who is Trev Alberts. He could end up looking for a job himself. I hope not. I hope they go on and fire Scott Frost sometime during the next 24 hours. Eagles traveling to the Lions today. The Eagles are a 4-point favorite here. I don't see that line. I really don't. I think the Lions are an improved team. Goff versus Hurts. I would rather have Goff. Hurts can run the football. Yes. The Eagles defense is really, really good. 48.5 is I think it's a laughable number. They're not even going to come close to 48.5. The winning team probably won't score 20. I like the Lions here. They're like in a 1916 game, a real close game. But I think the Lions are going to pull one off here. We'll see what happens. And definitely take the points here. I like the Lions. 49ers and Bears. This may be the worst game of the week. I don't know why I went over in this total here. I look back now, 42. I don't think these teams are going to score 32 points. Lance, Fields, I'm not high on either one of them. What's up, Keith? I'm not high on Lance or Fields. I'm really not. I think this is going to be maybe the worst game of the team, worst game on TV to watch this week. I hear it's pouring down rain in Chicago. This may be a mud fest. First one to double digits may win this game. It could be as low as a 10-9 game. Yeah, go Huskers. Yeah, they will go down the toilet against Oklahoma next week if they don't fire Scott Frost today. Bengals are hosting the Steelers. The Steelers going to start Mitch the two-pony trick Trubisky this week. He's on a time clock, okay? Lance is on a time clock. All right? It's just the way it is. Tannehill is on a time clock. When is Jimmy G going to start? When is Malik Willis going to start? When is Kenny Pickett going to start? Sooner rather than later. I will promise you that. But Mitch Trubisky is not the answer in Pittsburgh. They will find that out today. You're playing a Super Bowl team today. And I think they're going to look like it. I really do. I look for Cincinnati to mop the field up with Pittsburgh today, possibly by 20 points. I really see this being a blowout. Keith needs to get something to eat because he says he's hungry. I got cookies. I got chocolate chip cookies here. All right. But 6.5 points, I didn't blink at that. I think the Steelers will score a little, but I just don't like that situation there with Pittsburgh right now. We will see what happens. I still think they may go over the total just because I think Cincinnati is going to dominate. Patriots and Dolphins, it's all a matter of what Tua can do. It's all a matter of what Tua can do. 2 ex-Alabama quarterbacks, Tua, Jones. If you gave me the pick right now, I would still take Jones. I know a lot of people saying he's regressed. He's regressed in the offseason. Well, look, let's see what kind of weapons they put around him. The defense, I definitely think Miami's defense is a little better than New England's. New England lost a little bit. We'll see what happens. I think this could really, really, really be a low-scoring game as well. And I don't know the temperatures down there in Miami today, but if they're getting some of this East Coast stuff, it's rain, it's a deluge. What's up, Sean? Yeah, the Queen. Well, we need to get in touch with Alan about the Queen. You're right about that. But I like your Patriots today. I really do. I think it's going to be another low-scoring game. You're going to give me points. I will take the 2.5. I'll take the Patriots here. Browns and the Panthers. Charlotte, they're getting the rain. Is Notre Dame out of the playoffs? Yes. Notre Dame can win 10 in a row now. They're not in the playoffs. That loss yesterday takes them out, yes. Number one, they should be out of the top 25. We'll see if they are. But they should be out of the playoffs, yes. Browns and Panthers, I don't understand this line at all. The Browns do not have their troublemakers there. They don't have Mayfield. He's gone. They don't have, they don't have rub-a-dub-dub, a woman and a man in a tub. They don't have him either. He's gone. They're going to have a fresh start with a quarterback. I don't care who it is, Jacoby Brissett, whoever. They have a team around him. He has great receivers. They have a great defense. This is a team that should not blow it here in week one. Cleveland baseball fan Tim has said, he's made it clear, Cleveland loses every year in the first game of the year. I don't think they will this year. I think they're going to win outright. The Panthers, I don't know why anybody would take the Panthers right now. I just don't think they're that good a team. They may win 6 games. They may win 7 games. I don't think they're going to win that many. I like the Browns here. I really, really, really. Do you think that the Notre Dame coach will be fired? No. Do I think he should be fired? Hell yeah. He's the only Notre Dame coach ever to start 0-3. He was started in the bowl game last year, got beat. He played Ohio State tough, lost. But you cannot lose that App State game yesterday. You cannot lose that game. And that's going to end up was Appalachian State beat them? No, it wasn't App State. Who's that beat them yesterday? Maybe it was App State. Who beat them? Marshall beat them. Marshall. Yeah. You can't lose that game, though. You just cannot. Yeah. Yeah. But the Browns have a better defense. The Browns have better receivers and running backs. And look, their offensive line is much improved. Much improved. The Panthers have some question marks. The Panthers have some question marks. They really, really do. We'll see what happens. I definitely like the Browns straight up in that game. And you're all right, Sean. Marshall looked really good yesterday. And I love their coach. I hope he ends up going somewhere and really, really making a bigger name for himself. Colts and Texans today. I had a little bit of problem with this game because, Matt Ryan. Yeah, Matt Ryan is bringing a sense of security to the Colts. I've always liked Matt Ryan. I think he's overhyped sometimes. I don't think he's as good as people think he is. But he does play with his head on a swivel, and he can really look at the field real well. The Texans, everybody says the Texans are a team just to implode. And I don't think so. I think Davis Mills is a kid that can play the position of quarterback. Their defense is definitely better than they were, and they've got a little bit of a running attack. I'm not going to sit here right now and tell you I think the Texans are going to win this game. But if you're going to give me 8 points and the Texans are at home, I'm going to take you Texans. I think the Colts probably win this game by a field goal. He was a running back coach at Alabama. Oh, okay. I like the Texans in this ballgame. I really do. At least to what do you think about the Bills-Rams game? We picked the Bills. Everybody on the channel, Keith got in touch with me, took the Rams late. We all went And every one of us on the channel, Dwayne, Travis, Tim, Bob, and me, we all went with the Bills and we went with the under. And it was an under. This Colts game today, um, I don't know what to think of it. I think both teams are going to score. I really do. If the Colts front seven is able to play, and I'm not even going to say up to their potential, but if they can just play decent, they should win this ball game by more than 8. I'm just not sure they can. I'm really sold on this Davis Mills kid to be able to go out and throw for 250 yards, maybe a touchdown, probably a pick as well. But 8 points, that's too many for me. I like the Texans here. 44, go over that total. I really, really think they're going to score some points in this game. Saints and the Falcons. Okay. Saints are 5.5-point favorites going to Atlanta. Now, Travis took Atlanta, but look at all 22 position players. I think Atlanta has one advantage. That's at tight end. But the other 21 positions, I like the Saints. Neither team has a quarterback. But my goodness, the Saints defense last year, they were swarming. I mean, shit, they beat the Buccaneers in week 1 last year. If you don't remember that, go back and look at it. With this same team, they beat the Buccaneers in week 1 last year. Okay? They're going to march into another dome. March right into Atlanta. I think they're going to go in there, and I think they're going to maul them. I really do. This would be my lock of the week. Is Winston back? All I can say is I don't know. I'm not sure if he is back or not. That would be the one downfall for the Saints. They do not need somebody who can throw 30 interceptions. I don't care if he can throw 30 touchdowns. I would rather have a quarterback throw no touchdowns and no picks than I had one that throws 30 touchdowns and 30 picks. That's just me. I would rather have somebody that can keep me going down the field, okay? And when it gets down to 4th down, we can punt the ball and get rid of it. That's not what the Falcons are built on. The Falcons are built on hopes and dreams, and I think the hopes and dreams are down the toilet this week. This is going to be a blowout. I really believe it. I'm going over the total of 42.5 with the belief that Saints are going to score 35 of those points. 42.5. I think it's going to be like a 35-14 game. I think the Saints are going to kill them. I really do. Ravens and Jets. This kid for the Jets, this running back they've got, I really, really, really think he's got a chance to be Rookie of the Year this year. I really think that. That's how much, I really, really think, let's see, I got his name right here. Breece Hall from Iowa State. I think he can be Rookie of the Year this year. I really, really do. Can they pull the upset? Well, Flacco can't make mistakes, and Flacco has been known to have games where he doesn't make mistakes. Jackson, on the other hand, he's right in the middle of a contract negotiation. He has no agent. He has no agent buffer. It's him. They're dealing directly with him. He says to this point they still haven't even made a $200 million offer. The Ravens say they have a $200 million offer on the table. This does not look like it's going to end well. It doesn't look like it's going to end well at all in Baltimore. I don't know what happens here. I personally would not pay the kid $200 million. That's just me. Is he an MVP? Yes. You got to look at it. You got to look at playoff records and stuff like that. Regular season records. If you're going to pay somebody for regular season record, Kyler Murray's perfect. He can go. Kyler Murray can go 13-4. He can go 12-5 in a regular season, and then take you to the regular season first playoff game and get the shit beat out of him. He can do that. He can do it with the best of them. Dak Prescott's the same way. Dak Prescott can go 13-4, 14-3 with Dallas, go into the first week of the playoffs and then get the hell beat out of him. Or lose, just lose. So you do not pay a kid for how he plays in the regular season alone. That alone would tell me I would not be paying this kid $200 million. Not a chance in hell. No way. That's me. But having said all that, Zach Wilson, he's out. We already know that. Joe Flacco, I don't know how much of the playbook they're going to open for Joe Flacco. I would love to see that. I would love to be able to sit here and tell you the Jets are going to give them a heck of a game, and they may give them a game, but 7 points is not a lot. It's really not. I think the Ravens defense is better. I really do. I will go with the Ravens right here in this pick. I think the Ravens cover 7, but 44.5, no way. No way. You go under that total. These two teams are not going to be scoring at will. I think the weather up in New York is not the best. I go with the Ravens. I go with the under this week. Jaguars and Commanders. Both of these teams should be improved. We got to see what Carson Wentz is all about. If he can go out and play a decent ball game, I think the Commanders are the better team. They strengthened up their offensive line. Their defensive front is already monstrous. And they got some linebackers to help out. Defensive backs, that's still a question mark for the Commanders. But Jacksonville also has some question marks in the defensive backfield as well. That alone lets me think this could be a high-scoring ball game. I know Washington does not like to play high-scoring games. They are a team that likes to play close to the vest, especially defensively. They like to keep players in front of them. I still say, though, this could get in the 30s before it's over with. I like Washington in this ballgame, maybe 39, 35, 38, 35. It could be a push game. It could be a field goal game alone, but I still like Washington to win this ballgame. 44, I think they can score 44 in the first half alone. Go with the Commanders and go with the over. We got the Packers traveling to Minnesota today. Packers are a 2-point favorite. That's a Devontae Adams syndrome. If Devontae Adams was there, they would be a 6-point favorite. Adams being gone, they take 3-4 points away from them, and they still like the Pack. And I like the Pack in this ball game as well. Minnesota, for years, has been talking about how great their defense is. It's time to step up. It's time to step up now. You got to keep Aaron Rodgers at bay. Offensively, you've got enough with Cousins and that offense to stay with them. But you cannot let Aaron Rodgers run nuts on you. You can't let Aaron Rodgers run crazy on you. And he just has a tendency within this division to take control of a game and run with it. I like the Packers in this ball game. I like the over too. I really think the Packers are going to score a lot of points in this ball game. I think Minnesota's going to score too. I think Minnesota gets in the 20s, but I think the Packers may get in the 30s. I will like this maybe 33-21. I like the Pack winning this ball game. Giants at the Titans. It's Malik Willis time. It's Malik Willis watch time. Tannehill, if he goes a half today, let's say he goes the first half and goes 5 of 15, 1 interception, 30 yards. You're going to see Malik Willis today in game 1. You're going to see Malik Willis quick. Now, Tannehill has A lot of weapons around him. Yes, no doubt about that. If he plays a smart ball game, they won't need Malik Willis today. And Willis, I'm not going to sit here and say if they bring Willis in, they're a better team. I'm not sure about that. But the leash is going to be short on Tannehill. They are not going to let him take them to where he did last year and then go to the playoffs and flush it down the toilet. But having said that, the Giants are a train wreck. They are really, really bad. The kid from Duke, is what is he all about? I'm talking about the quarterback. I'm just not sold on this Giants team. The Giants every year look like they try to go out and get some linebackers and defensive linemen, and it just don't look like they fit with me. It looks like it's a puzzle. It just doesn't fit right. I like the Titans big in this ball game. I really, really do. 44 is the over-under. I'm going over the total here. I think the Giants Swiss cheese defense may give up 30 themselves. The Titans have a good running attack. They have a decent passing attack, and their defense is a lot better than the Giants. I like the Titans. 5.5 points is not that. Cousins will throw 8 touchdown passes a day. Well, Michael Irvin has been known to be on some drugs in his lifetime. Yeah, he might before the game starts. Raiders and Chargers. Raiders and Chargers. The Chargers are 3.5 point favorites today. The Chargers are. I don't see it. I really don't. I'm not a Justin Herbert fan, and I like the way he plays. But boy, oh boy, does Justin Herbert remind me of a young Brett Favre, and he throws the ball a lot of places he should not throw the ball. Not that I'm high on the Raiders quarterback, because I'm not. I don't think the Raiders quarterback's that much better. I think the Raiders have better skill position players. I think the Raiders have a little bit better defense, just a little bit. 3.5 is too much in this ball game. But I like the Raiders in this game. I'm the only one that did pick the Raiders in this game, but I think that they're both teams are going to score some points. Raiders 3.5. They're going to get that many points. They're not going to lose by a field goal anyway. I mean, by more than a field goal. They may lose a ball game, but I like the Raiders to cover 3.5. Chiefs and the Cardinals. This was a tough one for me right here, because we know generally Patrick Mahomes comes out and plays tough, especially week 1. But this Cardinals defense is pretty darn good, and they're going to be at home today. Kyler Murray has a ton to prove. This is a game where Kyler Murray may end up looking like hero or zero. And this is one of the times I'm actually going to support Kyler Murray. I like the Cardinals in this ballgame. They're at home. They're getting 3.5 points. The Chiefs, they lose Hill. Tyreek Hill is not a small piece or a small cog in that puzzle. He's a huge piece. I'm going to take the Cardinals in this game. I think they'll win it outright, but I definitely think they keep it within a field goal. Anyway, 53 points. I'm going over the total as well. I think we know the Chiefs are able to score points. We know they can. I just think the Cardinals will too. I think this gets way over the total, or pretty well over the total. Sunday Night Football, Buccaneers and Cowboys. This is another tough one to pick. It really is. But then you hear that Tom Brady has never lost to the Cardinals in his career. I mean, never lost to the Cowboys in his career. Never lost to them. The Cowboys lost some receivers, and really their best their best player on offense, other than Prescott, has got to be old man Zeke. And is Elliott enough to win against the Buccaneers? I don't think so. The Buccaneers picked up some defensive players here recently. I know they're back in negotiations with Gronk. I know they're in negotiations to get Jared Goff from the Lions as well. This is a team I think is going to be really, really, really tough to beat tonight. Um, the Buccaneers, everybody's going to say, well, Tom Brady's coming off a rough off season and all that. I think tonight he's going to show he is fine. He'll throw 3 or 4 touchdown passes and show you everything is okay. The Bucs win this one, 50 points over under. That it'll go over that total pretty easily. I think the Buccaneers will win. I'm not going to say comfortably, but by more than 7 points, I think. Monday night, we got the Broncos at the Seahawks. And nobody's showing any love for the Seahawks, and I can understand why. Geno Smith is your quarterback. Okay? If you've ever had a team, if your team has ever had Geno Smith as their quarterback, you know how the Seahawks feel right now, except Geno Smith is 58 years old now. And he's going against a really amped up Broncos defense. Everybody wants to make this game about Wilson. Wilson this, Wilson that, Wilson that. It's really not. It's all about Geno Smith and how he handles that Broncos defense. And I don't think he can. I really don't. I really, really don't. I like the Broncos big Monday night. 6 points. Give it up. Give it up. Steelers only get 6.5, Keith. 6.5 is in line. Is what I got from CBS Sports. Broncos -6. Give it 6. Take the Broncos. 41.5. That's a real low line. I mean, really low line. Wilson's going to find a way for these guys to get in the end zone a few times. I like the over in this ball game. My lock of the week, my lock of the week is the Saints. There's no way I think they march into Atlanta and lose this game by more. I mean, there's no way they lose it. 5.5 is not a lot to give. I like the Saints big in this ball game. I really, really, really do. We were talking about Scott Frost a little earlier. Scott Frost, I'm understanding I just got a report that Scott Frost has been called to the AD's office this morning. Scott Frost has been called to the AD office in Nebraska, in Lincoln, Nebraska. Has he been fired yet? But he's been called into the AD's office. Trev Alberts is the AD in Nebraska. Let me look right here. He is to meet with AD noon Central Time. So that's 18 minutes from now. I don't know. I don't know what to make of that, but he is to meet Trev Alberts, the athletic director, also a former player. Okay, don't forget that. But I do know the alumni want Scott Frost out. Scott Frost gets fired today. He gets $15 million check written out Monday morning. He gets it. If they wait till October 1st, which now would have to happen after the game on October 1st, you'll be giving away 2 home games this week against Oklahoma and the Indiana game. And then you only have 2 home games remaining the rest of the season. If you get rid of Frost now, $15 million, he's hitting the road. You put the interim coach in, and you try to get the ship sailing straight. Otherwise, you're giving this season up. And I don't think the alumni are putting up with that. And thus, that's a reason I think Trev Alberts is meeting with him today. I think there's a great chance by 2 o'clock today we hear that that Scott Frost is fired. I think that's a great chance that's going to happen. But the Wires, Husker Corner, Husker Corner and the Nebraska newspapers are saying Scott Frost will meet with the athletic director Trev Alberts at noon Central Time today. So this is gonna be a big thing. A lot of people saying he's no way going to get fired till October 1st. October 1st falls on a Saturday. Sadly, if they lose this week, let's say they lose to Oklahoma by 40, why fire him then? Why fire him then? You got to try to make at least your home fans feel like they've got something to believe in. And right now, they're not going to go into that Oklahoma game next week hyped. You can't be. Oklahoma played yesterday as flat as pancakes first half. Then they come out and put 26 on the board. I'm not expecting an Oklahoma blowout in this game. Don't get me wrong. I'm not expecting Oklahoma to beat them by 20 points. I'm not expecting that. But if they keep Frost, and let's say Oklahoma scores the first 14 points next week, I'm telling you, it's going to turn vicious in Nebraska. And Lincoln is not going to be a town that Scott Frost is going to want to show his face. Frost may even this is something a lot of people had probably not even thought about. Can you imagine being Scott Frost right now in Lincoln, Nebraska? Do you even go in a grocery store? Do you even go in a drugstore? Do you even go, in the local diner? Georgia Southern probably wouldn't get ranked. They're not a top 25 team right now. I don't know where they're ranked, but they're not top 25. Would you go anywhere in Lincoln if you're Scott Frost? I wouldn't. And do you really want that? Do you really want that hanging over your head for the next 3 weeks? I will be surprised if Scott Frost comes in today and says, look, I'd like to resign. Okay? But I do need some at least some funds. They probably would give him the $7.5 million and let him walk, or $5 million. But nobody's mentioned Frost actually wanting to give it up. Okay? But why would you want to stay? You know your destiny out there. You know what's going to happen. If you beat Oklahoma this week, it's not going to save your job. It's not. Although it would help, but I don't think it saves his job. I don't think there's a win on his schedule that could keep him in Nebraska this year. I don't think it is. And being that you lost the first, these 2 games now, you're 1-2. And really, I mean, last week's game, do you want to count that? I guess you can. Scott's a great coach. Yeah, we'll let Dallas get him next year. I think Frost is gone. I personally do. I'll say he'll be fired by the time post-game today. I'm going to try to do a post-game show tonight. I think he'll be fired by then. We'll see. 12 o'clock meeting today. We'll see what happens. I'll have the wires up, and I'm sure. I'm sorry, folks. Did anybody see Urban Meyer on Fox yesterday? Fox. Urban Meyer Fox hired Urban Meyer. That's a mic drop moment, folks. Urban Meyer, the trash dump, the human dumpster fire. And Fox hires him. You know, Sean, I heard Nebraska is looking at Urban. I'm telling you, there's crazier stuff that happens. If they hired Urban Meyer tomorrow, it would not surprise me, except for the money. That's the only thing. I think that would keep him from hiring him. But he's a great football mind. His problem is his mind's also in the gutter too. He's got the split personalities. On the football field, he's a football genius, and off the football field, he is a trash dump. He's a dumpster fire waiting to happen. He was on fire. Yeah, I know. But then they hired him back. That's the thing. After all the shit that happened in Jacksonville, Fox just swept it under the rug and said, come on, Urban. Come on back. I was sitting watching the pregame yesterday, and I was like, oh, what? Is that Urban Meyer? They get him on the far right, so you're not looking at him all the time, but you look at him when he talks. It's nuts. It's crazy, but I'm like this. I'm overthinking now. I thought a week ago, 2 weeks ago, you keep Scott Frost to October 1st, fire him, give him $7.5 million and run him out of town on the first rail. I'm overthinking you give him his $15 million. You run him on the nearest rail out of town. You can bring an interim coach in. You bring him in, bring an interim coach in, and you hope that you can get 6 wins to get to a bowl game. I don't care if it's a belt bowl. I don't care if it's a toilet bowl. You go to it. So, if Frost doesn't get fired and they win a game, should the other coach be on the odds? Yeah. If they lose to Oklahoma, yes. If they beat Oklahoma, rather, Oklahoma coach should be shaking in his boots. You guys tell me in chat right now. Money, I don't think is the number one issue here. I really think, Frost and Alberts, they're friends. They are friends. They both played at Nebraska. Would you fire Frost now? You got 2 home games before October, one before October 1st and one the day of October 1st. After that, you only got 2 home games left. That is it. That is it. 2 home games remaining after October 1st. I'd fire him today. So let's see what the folks out here. Fire Frost on Halloween Eve. Hire Urban on Halloween. That's too late, though. You're not going to wait that late. If you're going to fire him, you're going to fire him October 2nd. But if you would go right now, Tim says I'd fire him. I think you got to. You've got people with 30, 40-year season tickets at Nebraska threatening to boycott the team. Oh, they have 3 after October 1st. Okay, I thought I looked at it and said 3. Okay, they got 3 after October 1st. But they only have 5 more home games. And yeah, that's right. They got Wisconsin, they got Wisconsin, Minnesota, and Illinois. Yeah, Illinois, Minnesota, Wisconsin's the last one. Yeah, you're right. Illinois, Minnesota, Wisconsin, right. And they've still got Oklahoma and Indiana. How long has he been a coach? 3rd year, 4th year, something like that. I think you got to fire him. There's no silver lining here, folks. There's nothing good about it. You're 1-2. You've got Oklahoma coming up next Saturday. This team cannot be expected to go in and even think about hanging with Oklahoma under the current regime. They can't. They can't. They couldn't block their way out of a wet paper bag yesterday. They couldn't. They got outplayed by Marshall. They got outplayed. Not by Marshall, Georgia Southern. It was Georgia Southern that beat them, right? Yeah, Georgia Southern. Marshall outplayed Notre Dame too. Damn right. He has a family. Okay, Sean. You tell us that if Dallas goes 0-3 and you want to get rid of McCarthy. Too bad Frost couldn't coach against Harbaugh this week. Yeah. I think he's going to get fired. I really, really do. We'll see what happens. 300-yard football quarterbacks with 300 yards. Obviously, we're not talking about Thursday. 300 yards today. I'm going to go with Joe Burrow. I think he gets over 300 yards passing today. I'm going to go. I'm actually going to go with Carson Wentz. I think he could throw for over 300 yards today. Terry McLaurin's going to be a huge factor. Georgia Southern is a school. It's also a railroad. And Aaron Rodgers, he's going to throw. What was my prediction for the Cowboys Bucks? I like your Bucks, 1.5. It's going to be over the total of 50. I like your Buccaneers in this ball game. I really do. Tom's never lost to them, and I mean, say what you want to about the Cowboys, whether you like them or you don't like them. I don't understand why they got rid of that wide receiver. Why would they have traded him to the Browns? It's not like you got a plethora of receivers. Sean, did you like that trade that they got rid of their receiver to the Browns? You tell me yes or no. Are they a better team trading? Okay, he was always hurt, but he played last year. He played 13 games, 12 games. We'll see what happens this year. We'll see what happens, but I think the Buccaneers win that ball game. I think it's going to be a good game, high-scoring game. Sunday night in Dallas, we'll see what happens. A lot of these games on the East Coast, especially where it's raining, Carolina, the Jets, the Bengals could also end up being a low-scoring game. I think it's going to end up being a high-scoring game, but I know Cincinnati's been getting some rain. The New England-Miami game, that could be hurt with a lot of water, a lot of rain there. Commanders game against the Jags. Like I say, it's a deluge. It's been a deluge out here. Right now, it's not too bad. It's a little bit of a breeze. Giants-Titans. There's a lot of games here on this East Coast that I think could end up playing a big role is the weather. Bills, Buccaneers in the Super Bowl. That's who I originally picked. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But I actually picked the Buccaneers to win it all. We'll see. There's some team, but the Bills have a Dallas syndrome too. Josh Allen, I'm scared to pick him in big games. Week 1's not a big game. You can lose today, folks. It's not your season. You can lose today and still win 13 ball games. Don't think for a second you can't. Week 1 is nice stepping stone, a nice preview as to what's going to happen with your team. But it's not. It's really, really not the be-all and end-all. It's really not. It's nearly 1 o'clock here on the East Coast. I hope you all have a great, great day. Lock of the day, Saints and Falcons. Give it 5.5. Take the Saints in that ball game all the way. I think that's going to be your lock of the day. Scott Frost, if he gets fired, I will try to post it up, make another video and let you guys know that who the new coach in waiting is. But I think there's a great chance Scott Frost will not be the coach come 7 o'clock tonight, Eastern time. It's a couple minutes before 12 Central time right now. We'll see what happens, but I think Scott Frost will get fired today. There's too many reasons not to fire him. now. Earlier, there were a few reasons to keep him. There's none of those reasons now. You need to get rid of him. You all have a great day. God bless. Go Commanders. Bye-bye.